Morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Damage Report. I am John Arola. I swear to God, it's true. I am. And this is the Damage Report. The pre-port specifically. Show will come soon. Wazi Lambre is going to be here. How awesome is that going to be? Did you know, apparently, a Supreme Court justice has been wildly corrupt? We're going to be talking about that in a little bit. As well as some... hey, Abstract Dragon, how's it going? Some interesting changes coming up for the Dominion lawsuit. It is going to be way more exciting than I thought it was, and I really hope that we get as much as possible from it. Whether it's taped, ideally, if they broadcast it live, it is going to be wild. And I'm going to preview some of what I want some of the people who's going to be testifying to be asked. I think it might be must-see TV. But anyway, this is also must-see TV or streaming or podcast or whatever, because we got a lot to talk about. And if we get to the 1,000 likes, so we're already almost a quarter of the way there, we are going to be talking about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. We have this weird archaic devotion to the concept of being consistent here at the Damage Report. We believe, and I know this is weird, you might not even be able to follow this, but that like your position on a thing should be consistent beyond just one personally convenient expression of it. She feels differently, and we're going to be profiling that if we get to 1,000 likes. But even if we don't, we got a lot of other stuff to talk about, so don't even worry about that. First of all, though, I do want to thank Dragon. You can have that name, Dragon, for sending this amazing 3D printed dragon. It's delicate, so I don't want to like manipulate it too much, but you can see here it's this articulated, flexible rainbow dragon that was 3D printed and set in with whiskers. So thank you, Dragon, for that. Very nice of you. I was lucky enough to meet Dragon at the show that I did at San Francisco Sketch Fest with Francesca. It was a lot of fun. We will be doing more live events, so definitely stay tuned for that. Now, let's see. Zeet's been a member for 6 months. Says, good morning, Dragons. Good morning to you. Moon Dragon says, Tuesday was Big Haircut Tuesday. I guess it was. Thank you. And I mostly like how it turned out. It's easy to, be able to like get out of the shower, and it doesn't take long to get going. You don't have to like, I have newfound sympathy for people with really long hair. Because what do you just dry it for 40 minutes or something? I don't get how it works. But anyway, we do have a lot of news to get to. I want to start off. This is the first day since Trump predicted that he would be arrested on a Tuesday, that we won't really be talking about it, but I do want to just briefly mention one of his bleats and also some support lended to him by Ronnie Jackson. So here is what Trump said: as much as I can enjoy a day like Tuesday, where the radical left lunatics, maniacs, and perverts had me indicted and arrested for no reason whatsoever. I'm trying to sell him. There was no capital C crime. It was an unbelievable experience. Perhaps the best day in history for someone who had just suffered unjustifiable indictment. My poll numbers have never been better. Almost $10 million was raised for the campaign. And the day was capped off with a very important capital S speech. If we don't stop the radical left, America is dead. What do the perverts have to do with it? Like, what is that? Is Alvin Bragg a pervert? Is Martian, the judge, a pervert? What's with the perverts? Why does everything have to be about perverts? But anyway, his commentary, actually I think somewhat reasonable for him, sane in comparison to Ronnie Jackson, who tweeted, Alvin Bragg is a despicable human being. Will his office's highly illegal leaks ever be investigated? Again, they have not demonstrated that they actually leaked anything, and I still don't know. If you're a conservative, please let me know, because I know that you were freaked out that stuff was leaked. What does it matter that the number of indictments was leaked an hour before all the details were released? I don't think that I'm in a bubble. What fucking effect could that possibly have had? Anyway, he goes on to say, Alvin Bragg is committing terrible crimes against our country. He says, which crimes? Okay. Goes on to say, hey, I have to show this to you so you don't think that I'm exaggerating here. We're going to do a 2-shot of crazy tweets here, okay? Hey, Fat Alvin, go ahead and celebrate with another jelly donut, but get ready to answer some serious questions from Congress. He is formerly a doctor, and I think for a very long time, I don't know that people struggling with their weight feel like they necessarily are seen by the healthcare industry. To just throw as an insult, hey, you're fat, eat a donut. That doesn't actually stop the investigation. That doesn't actually have any effect on it, Ronnie Jackson. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. By the way, then he goes on to tweet this. Leaders who have their political opponents arrested. And it's Joe Biden, you know, even though he wasn't involved in this. And also, at the same time, Ronnie Jackson is desperate for Joe Biden to be arrested. And Jill Biden and Hunter Biden and whatever Biden. Choose a Biden, your own Biden, build a Biden, hashtag. So, like, at least, like, if you are pivoting to full-on defense of the great leader, like, mode, then you have to stop the investigations of Biden. That's what's called consistency. But again, not a big fan. Not a big fan. Michael Murray, hey, how's it going? Says, I made the printed dragon strong enough to survive my niece, so play away. Oh, don't worry. I've been making it fly all over the room. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out a way to arrange things. There's a lot of dragons now, but I believe that this allows its full length to be appreciated. So thank you for that. Anyway, let's move on to other news. Oh, dear God, the day is passing by fast. Really, I want to do a bubble check, okay? So I don't know sometimes if I...
Saying automated and...
Quiet down, Chrome. I don't know if I'm in... And we're getting close to 1,000 likes already, by the way. I don't know if I'm in a bubble or something. So Disney's live-action remake of Little Mermaid apparently has rewritten some of the songs like Kiss the Girl. Okay, and Fox has an article about it. They haven't, like, totally... Hey, Wheels Up. How's it going? They haven't totally freaked out. I don't know that they've covered it on the 5, but they definitely will. So here's what they will be bothered by. The article already, like, is teeing them up. The original lyrics say, yes, you want her. Look at her. You know you do. Possible she wants you too. There is one way to ask her. It don't take a word. So it implies that you'll ask her. You're not supposed to do that. Not a single word. Go on and kiss the girl. So they apparently have changed that. I don't know exactly to what. But the idea is that teaching kids that if you're not sure if the person wants to kiss you, you should just try, is admittedly more consistent with Donald Trump's approach to dating than I think most modern people would want. Should that have been changed or not? I don't know what it was changed to, so it's hard to evaluate it totally. I have a feeling the movie is going to be pretty similar. I don't think it's going to make a big difference or whatever. I have no doubt that they're going to freak out. So for several reasons. So one, it's an established property's lyrics being changed. That's all it takes for them to do like a full day on it. Two, it implies that we shouldn't be teaching people to sexually assault other people, which they're going to hate. They're going to be very defensive about that. I don't know why. And the other reason is that, of course, now it stars a black actress. So any opportunity to give their base like a couple of minutes of just being mad at TV. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. So, really fast. We don't have much time. I'm going to do one more interesting Wheels Up. Try and push permanently disabled patients out of their clinic. That's amazing. Did you see this? I don't know if this has actually been confirmed as true, but thankfully the stakes are very low, so I don't particularly care. Supposedly, Elon Musk has covered up the W in the sign at the San Francisco headquarters so that instead of Twitter, it's Titter. You get it? You get it? No, I know you think you get it, but that just fell off. You don't actually get it, because it's very funny, and I don't hear people around the country laughing, so I don't think you no, because it was Twitter, and now it's Titter. He also added the Doge. to the loading screen on the front page of Twitter. That would have been an outdated reference like 3 or 4 years ago. Am I wrong? Am I the bad guy? Because he's rich and famous and very rich and also has a lot of money. So, I mean, I imagine he's better than me and funnier and cleverer. Anyway, I was going to talk a little bit about a study that looks into his threats over Twitter Blue, how successful they've been, but I think I'm actually going to save that for tomorrow with Brett Ehrlich. We're going to be throwing away our garbage people of the week. In any event, Elon Musk, good luck to you, buddy. Okay, everybody, let's talk now about our main story of the pre-port. And this is a case study. This is why I want to talk about this. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders, like many right-wingers and many right-wing governors, isn't interested in the federal government. Because you see, the federal government is tyrannical. And them getting involved in what states want to do is always, always, always wrong unless they pass like an abortion ban or something. Then it'll be totally cool. So she's put out statements, including recently, saying that Arkansas residents have the right, quote, to be free of socialism and tyranny. 2 months ago, she tweeted that, as long as I am your governor, the meddling hand of big government creeping down from Washington, D.C. will be stopped cold at the Mississippi River. You shall not pass, federal government. Bureaucrats, fly, you fools. Very bold stance. Of course, then, the state is absolutely ravaged by tornadoes. Killed nearly 36 people, caused tons of property damage. So she put out this statement. I've been across our state since Friday, surveying damage, meeting with survivors, and discussing recovery efforts with local leaders, emergency personnel, and volunteers. It's clear that the cost to clean up the damage these storms created will be substantial. The federal government is currently covering 75% of all costs incurred during our recovery process, but that arrangement must go further to help Arkansans in need. Today, I'm asking the federal government to cover 100% of all of our recovery expenses during the first 30 days after the storm. Now, let me briefly jump in with one point before I get to the main reason I want to talk about this. Should the federal government cover whatever is needed to help people recover from this? Yes, I think that they should. I think that's if there is a fucking point of government, it's to help people who've been devastated by tornadoes. I am actually perfectly fine with that. I think that the government, whether local, state, federal, should be helping people make their lives whole after these sorts of things, including in this case. The fact that it's Sarah Huckabee Sanders or that it's like a red state or whatever, I don't give a shit. Get the government in there and help people. There are people who are suffering, whose homes have been destroyed, whose businesses have been destroyed, which not only wrecks them, but also all of their employees are out of business. This is an absolute disaster. Get in there and help people. And while you're helping people, we can deal with Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, fuck you, you fucking hypocrite. This right here, if you're new to American politics, if you're perhaps from outside of the country, this is the entirety of the right wing in one little case study. Demonizing the government and then running to the government for help when you need it in situations that are entirely predictable, recur constantly. This is not some random 1 in a million chance. This sort of thing happens. This is why we have a government. This is why we do not just all go it alone. But this is what they do. It's kind of like what they do in regards to businesses, where they want to deregulate them, get the government away from them. But then if they fall apart, definitely flood them with money. So you guys don't want to contribute federally or even in terms of your state. So you cut taxes and you cut taxes and you cut taxes so that the wealthy and corporations can run amok. And then when the inevitable happens, oh shit, we actually don't have any money to do anything about this because we're not trying to run a functional government. So could you guys come help us? I swear I won't go back to attacking you tomorrow. Wink. And she, of course, will. She will, if the federal government comes in and covers 75, 100, whatever, then she will claim that she saved everyone and she will go right back to attacking the federal government. There will be no lessons learned. Maybe the media will cover this. Maybe some people living in Arkansas will learn a lesson as a result of this. Not nearly as much as we should. Alex Ward with the great Hocus Pocus reference there. Yeah, this is a learning opportunity. We have a government for a reason. We contribute all the time, even when we don't need it, so that when we do need it, it is there. And we can be helped in the same way that other people require help every single day in places around the country. But I fear that lesson will not be learned. It's one of the main reasons that we do this sort of show, is so that people start to understand the obligation we have to each other and why it makes everyone stronger. Anyway, I'm probably way over. Wazi Lambre is going to be joining me. Oh, reminder again. We are reaching, I think we've reached or about to reach 1 full year of my Patreon at patreon.com/JohnnyRolla. It's the Peanut Butter Storytime Patreon. I produce short stories. We've got like 10 fantasy, sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, all sorts of short stories, a little RPG that I made available there, as well as a full year of podcasts breaking down movies, TV shows, books, some video games as well, analyzing the story and getting into it. So there is a lot of content now. If you've considered joining up in the past, you now have an even better value when you sign up. And got a lot more stuff coming out soon. In fact, Dan from the internet is going to be joining me on the podcast in the very near future, so that should be a lot of fun. I'm also hoping to get Emma Vigeland on to finally talk about the last season of Game of Thrones. We are going to do that at some point. I'm not reviewing Picard yet, but that is definitely a possibility, especially now that it's going to be, the total run will be done. That said, I got to get to the show. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for hitting the like button. I will see you soon with Waz.